Julio Jones is without a doubt the greatest Atlanta Falcons receiver in franchise history. The unselfishness, never complains, never throws his teammates under the bus. He never throws his organization under the bus. He goes out and simply does his job. Julio Jones is without a doubt in my mind the best and most complete receiver the game has ever seen. The guy once ran a 4.3 with a broken foot. Julio Jones is once put up 300 yards in a single game as a receiver. Julio Jones once destroyed one of the greatest cornerbacks in the history of the game, Patrick Peterson, putting over 200 yards on one of the best corners, okay? Again, in NFL history. Whatever happened to respect? Whatever happened to organizations like the Atlanta Falcons, who have a terrible history of not taking care of their stars? Guys like Jesse Tuggle, Tommy Nobis, Chuck Smith, Mike Ken, a lot of these guys. The Falcons have Deion Sanders. The things that this organization did to Deion Sanders, allowing him to just walk for absolutely nothing. We allowed Deion Sanders to hit the free agent market and didn't get a freaking thing. We couldn't even give him the common courtesy to be traded to a team. We allowed Deion Sanders to just simply walk. This organization needs to do better. The utter disrespect that I hear to say that Julio Jones, because he's 32, he's in his 30s, and then we want to throw him away like he's a piece of trash. These guys put their life on the line. They're an inch away from being paralyzed from a lot of these hits. CTE, life after football. But they have to simply rely on people to help them to get around, to help them with their mental and their personal issues. Julio Jones deserves this. He does nothing. Even when he's hurt, the guy gives 100%. And because he's 30, we want to start throwing him in the trash like he's nothing? That's not right. It's not right. And like this tweet is from the Falcoholic, I think this is perfectly describes how I feel. My official thought about Julio Jones trade is this. It makes me sad, and I'll keep quietly hoping it doesn't happen. For the past decade, Julio has made being a Falcons fan much less depressing. Even in lost season, he came into games obviously banged up and did absurd and possible things. He's one of the greatest receivers ever, and it will never feel like a good time for that to end. Perfect statement. So I'm saying to Mr. Blank, Arthur Smith, Terry Fontenot, Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, there will never be another duo like this ever in franchise history. They are the greatest wide receiver quarterback duo in this franchise history. And one can make an argument of being one of the greatest quarterback receiver duos in the history of the game. Julio deserves respect. To see analysts, Julio does nothing but respect their questions. He answers it to the best of his knowledge and not disrespectful. He's just a great guy. Even when guys on the field are trying to talk crap to Julio, Julio Jones does nothing but smile and goes up and hit him up for 100 yards in a game. The guy is undoubtedly the perfect receiver. He is that. The sheer power that he runs with, the determination that even when he's hurt, he's still going to go out and play to the best of his capabilities. Julio Jones teaching a guy like Calvin Ridley, passing that knowledge to a guy like Calvin Ridley, when a lot of receivers like Antonio Brown, who didn't want to share the knowledge, a lot of guys who didn't want to share the knowledge because they didn't want the young guy to come in to take his spot, being selfish, Julio Jones continues to do that. Julio Jones deserves respect. So what I'm saying to Mr. Blank, who has the ultimate say-so, Julio Jones deserves to retire an Atlanta Falcon. So with that being said, this is my heartfelt message on whether or not the Falcons should trade Julio Jones. Continue to support your boy here at Matt Mike Sports, Atlanta Falcons Nation. But this has been a public service announcement. Peace.